and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We're going to introduce you to just a handful of our adoptable pets in this episode. Honey is one of the youngest cats on our adoption floor at about 4 months old. Initially, when she came in, she was part of our Frady Cat program, and she's been working the steps through that program and doing really well. She went from hiding all the time and, being hesitant to interact with people and kind of doing some hisses and kind of saying, "Hey, I'm scared, please leave me alone," to now really coming out and exploring her living space on her own, watching people pass by, really enjoying affection and wanting to be petted and interacted with, definitely enjoying playtime, being more curious and more confident, which is a great thing. We're so happy to see that Honey is making this great progress with the help of our staff and volunteers. But we are still thinking about Honey's adjustment. She's doing much better, but she's still kind of startled by loud noises and fast movements. And when you open her cage, it does take her a second to decide that she feels comfortable with you in order for her to show off her new confidence and be playful and affectionate. So it does still take her a second. So we are still looking for families with older children who are going to be able to kind of respect that about Honey, be a little bit more of a quieter environment where she can continue to thrive. Definitely a girl who's going to have a little bit of a transition when she gets home. It's not going to be like, "Hey, kitten's home," and she's going to be running around and playing. She's going to need some time to settle in. And we do go over all of those things with all of our various adoption counseling options that we provide to the people that are taking pets home from us. So if you think that you have just the right quiet household to help Honey continue to thrive and find the more confident version of herself, and you want to make her part of your family, the first step is going to be going to book an appointment to meet with her. You can also find downloadable applications to start that process more quickly. Our next cat is another one of our shy cats on the adoption floor, except for being a kitten this time. Dixon is a senior at age 7. Dixon did come from a property where there were multiple cats. So he is a cat that's cat friendly, has lived with other cats before. He's also lived with dogs and interacted well with them as well. Obviously, we want to make sure that we're reminding everybody that just because they've lived in those environments previously doesn't mean that they're going to like every other animal they encounter, and that all of those introductions should be done slowly and properly to make sure that things are going to go as smooth as possible for all the parties involved. Dixon has been with us for a little bit of time now, and he started out, in his hidey bed, and now he's coming out and feeling more comfortable in his new environment. And what we've discovered is that he loves attention, but he's not necessarily begging for it. Once you open up the cage and kind of start interacting with him, he's like, "Oh yeah, I do really like this." But he's not at the front of the cage begging for you. He's just like, "I got my comfy bed, my blankets. I'm just going to hang out here and nap." He's a little bit more low maintenance, I guess, in that way. He does seem to prefer quieter spaces, things like that. Haven't really been able to engage him in much play, but he does definitely want you to pet him and provide him with that kind of attention and affection. He has not lived with children before. We don't necessarily have an age recommendation for him, but according to his previous owner, he hasn't had those types of interactions in the past. So just keeping an eye on it. We do think that he might do better in a home with individuals who are capable of reading body language so that they can tell, yes, Dixon really is enjoying this, or no, Dixon doesn't like this, to, maybe I should stop doing that or give him his space, things like that. It does take him a little bit of time to warm up, but again, very affectionate. One of the things that we have learned here in the shelter is that he's definitely not one of those cats that wants to be picked up and carried around. So if that's what you're really after, then maybe another option would be better for you. Dixon's definitely uncomfortable. He gets kind of panicked, and a lot of cats do really like to keep those feet on the ground, and that's totally okay. And if you're okay with a cat who wants to kind of keep his feet on the ground and kind of hang out to himself some of the time and be a little bit more independent, then maybe Dixon is a good fit for you, and you want to go to book an appointment to meet with him and start that adoption process. Our next feline guest is very quickly becoming one of my personal favorites. This is Pumpkin, and it's obvious the first thing people notice about Pumpkin is, of course, her size. She is about 23 pounds, so that's what we would consider for her body type to be morbidly obese. So first things first, we are working on a diet plan for her to get her down to a healthy weight. We're helping her with her grooming and things like that she's unfortunately unable to do for herself right now at this weight. And yeah, the internet and social media says like fat cats are cute, but it is actually a really serious condition. And we're working really hard to make sure that this 3-year-old cat can get down to a healthy weight, which I think our vet said is about 14 pounds, to live a long, happy, healthy life. Aside from, just getting her down to that ideal weight, Pumpkin is delightful. Unfortunately, she was being a bit bullied by the other cats in her house, so she might not love being in a multi-cat household, but she is very affectionate. Sometimes it can take her a little bit of time to warm up, but then once she does, she initiates petting, she gets excited and comes out to greet people. We've been brushing her and she seems to be okay with that. It's something that will need to continue to happen until she's able to groom herself a little bit better. And she's also really, really playful, and it's good that she likes to play because that gives her a little bit of exercise, gets her moving around a little bit. Wand toys seem to be her favorite. She wants to smack at those and chase them around, within her limits. And she is capable of walking around, and she can do much more than we originally gave her credit for. She's able to get onto some of the lower levels of the cat trees and things in her living space here in the kitty cabana. So she has just a ton of potential. It's just making sure that you're really paying attention to that weight loss plan. And that's going to be the biggest thing for her new family, is to make sure that they're providing her with that structure so that she can lose those pounds. And if you think that you have all of those skills and can help her do that, and you see her for the great personality she has and are able to help her, then you can go to visit fcac.as.me to book an appointment to meet with Pumpkin. The first canine guest we have for you today is Buddy, and if you follow us or for any length of time, Buddy may seem familiar. Buddy has been with us a few times. He originally came to us a couple of years ago and was adopted, and then recently came back and then was able to be returned to his owner, and unfortunately now he's back with us again. His owners were having some issues, things going on that weren't really allowing them to care for Buddy in the way that they thought he should. So they brought him here so that we could find him a more stable environment. And he's about 5 years old at this point. He's one of our pit bull type dogs. And in a home environment, Buddy is a great dog. He's done really well in a home environment, but like a lot of dogs, the shelter is a little bit more stressful, so he's not always showing his best side. He can be a little bit more vocal and things like that here, just because it is a very stressful environment. But Buddy has a very nice sit. He's been walking really nicely on leash. He enjoys going on walks in the parks, and some staff took him for a hike fairly recently, and he did great on that. Really enjoyed getting outside, enjoyed the hamburger that they gave him afterwards, and he's done well with teenagers in a home, adults. He is an active guy. He likes to run around. He likes to get that exercise. He does struggle a little bit with dog-to-dog interaction, especially here in the shelter, but in a home environment with proper introductions, he has been able to make dog friends. But because it does take him a little bit longer, we would recommend that he probably be the only dog in a home, but he could make some outside dog friends, maybe have some play dates, things like that. Again, if you're doing that slow, proper introduction with him. Sometimes he takes treats a little bit too excitedly, so we've been working with him on taking those gently. And the only other thing is that we noticed that he doesn't necessarily love riding in the car. He kind of whines a little bit there. So not super comfortable in the car, but able to do it without too much fuss. So Buddy just has a ton of potential, and he's ready to show that to everybody in a home environment where he feels more relaxed and comfortable. And if you think an active dog is what you need and what you're looking for and Buddy's a good fit, then you can go to visit fcac.as.me to book an appointment to meet with Buddy. Also, you can find those downloadable applications so you can have that prepped and ready. Much like Pumpkin earlier in the show, CB is one of our big guys. CB weighs 110 pounds, so he is also on a diet. Our vet says his ideal weight is about 85 pounds, so we're helping him with that, getting him some exercise, working on, how much food he's being given, and that's something that his new family will have to help him work with as well. But CB is just a delightful little guy. He's incredibly affectionate. He is a senior dog, 6 to 7 years old, but he's super affectionate, has a great smile, and still has this youthful exuberance to him when he sees a toy and he wants to play, and he gets so excited to see them and does chew on them a little bit. So, monitoring him with things that are soft so that you can trade things away that maybe he might swallow, things like that. He loves affection, loves being around people. He's tried to to climb into laps, definitely really enjoys human affection and attention. But he's also very dog friendly. He lived previously in a home with Rosie and Valkyrie, 2 dogs that are also available on our adoption floor. Unfortunately, the owner was moving and just not able to take them along, so they ended up here. And while we don't generally encourage people to adopt 2 dogs at a time that are not a bonded pair, CB and Rosie, who you'll meet next, are able to be adopted together if somebody chose to do that. They do get along, and that's something that we would be willing to do. CB, apparently, according to his owner, has done well with cats. When he was getting his bath, he was curious about the cats in the grooming area. He, rides well in his car. He does walk fairly nicely on leash, so he has a ton of really great qualities. He just needs somebody to help him get down to that ideal weight. And because he is an older dog, we have noted that he does have some little lumps and bumps, so you want to make sure you're reading that medical closely and keeping track of those things with your vet. But if you think that CB is just the cuddle bug that you're looking for, you can go to visit FCAC.as.me to start the process of making him part of your family. Rosie is our final guest today, and she is one of those 3 dogs that came in together, and she's the one that could be adopted with CB. We think they would be happy to live in a home together again. She's, in the same age range, that 6 to 7 year old age range. However, she is a Rottweiler Malinois mix. She too is incredibly people oriented, loves to be close to you. She does jump up to kind of give hugs. She was in my office the other day. I was sitting in a chair. She wanted to climb all over me and kind of give me kisses and things like that. She's super affectionate, really loves attention, and as well as CB, very dog friendly as well. Walks very nicely on the leash. She is very food motivated. Staff are noting that she has qualities that would seem to make her very easy to train. She loves to roll in the grass and just kind of be with you. She also did really well getting a bath, things like that. The owner says she rides well in the car. So she has all of those great qualities too. Did note that she was a little bit more fearful of noises. And today when she was getting her bath, definitely the cat scared her a little bit. So she might not be as confident with a cat in the household. Wanted to hide after the cat hissed at her and growled at her, and she was definitely a little bit nervous. Unlike her buddy CB, she's not as interested in toys. Really just wants, that affection and wants to be close to you. Has a ton of potential. Just a really nice dog. She can be a little bit more vocal, where as CB does, like the low key, like whining. She can bark a little bit and things like that when she wants your attention. But just a really sweet girl that would do well in any household. We don't have any age restrictions for her. She might be even a great first dog because she does know sit. She takes treats nicely. She's easy to walk. So she has a lot of those really, really nice qualities, a very kind of calm personality. And if that's what you're looking for, then you can head to visit fcac.as.me to begin the process of making Rosie or Rosie and CB part of your family. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed meeting these amazing adoptable pets. Keep tuning in for more.